Hi, friend. Debbie here. Welcome back to Empower Her After Divorce, where we're dedicated to walk alongside you as you rebuild and rediscover yourself after divorce. This week, we're going to discuss 7 harmful myths that can sabotage your future. So let's get right into it. Our first myth is divorce equals failure. Sometimes after divorce, we can believe that we have failed because our marriage ended. No matter whether you were the one to initiate the divorce or your partner did, it can sometimes make you feel like it failed, whether that's the marriage or even yourself. But we have to ask ourselves, is that really true? Is it true that we failed? A lot of times it's been a long time of challenge and struggle before the actual divorce came, putting a lot of effort and energy into trying to make it work. So we got to think of it. We did the best we could with the information we had. In my situation, I was the one that initiated the divorce after 7 years of emotional and sometimes physical abuse. So when I finally made that decision to divorce, it was the hardest thing ever because I just really wanted everything to work out. So I actually did feel at first like I had failed. But then after I had a chance to reevaluate and look at the situation from outside of that situation, I was able to see that I had done the best I could with the information I had at the time. And that no matter how heartbroken I was making a courageous decision to put myself and my children's safety above my need to stay married. So I hope for you that you can see that no matter whether you initiated the divorce or your partner initiated the divorce, that doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't make the marriage a failure. It just means that we did the best that we could. That chapter of our life has ended and the next one gets to begin. So I hope that helps a little bit. And let's step on into the next myth so we can bust that thing. So the next one that I'd love to cover with you today is children will be damaged for life. Sometimes we hear this, children will be damaged from going through a divorce, and we can start thinking that in the back of our heads that no matter what we do, our poor children are going to be damaged from this experience. But sometimes we have to ask ourselves this big question is, what can our children learn from this difficult and challenging time? And what can we do as parents to help our children manage and cope with this challenging time? When we're able to give them the emotional support and love and care and respect that they need during this difficult transition, our children are way more resilient and capable than we give them credit for. So the most important part of that would be giving them the love and support and skills that they need. And if that's something that we don't have, then it's something that we need to get so that we can model those things for our children, as well as letting them see that we're going to be okay and they're going to be okay. And bringing in support, whether that be therapists, coaches, other friends that are further along in their divorce that have seen what it takes to help their children manage through that. Being able to have those people around you to help you get the skills and strategies that you can use to help implement in your life during this challenging time can be amazing and huge. It's also going to be very helpful for your kids to be able to express what they're experiencing, especially for some littles and mid-range kids. You're going to possibly even see some behavior challenges with them because it's overwhelming for an adult to experience these emotions. So it can be overwhelming for them too. But if we can see their behavior as a bid for attention rather than just outright misbehavior, it can help us manage it a little better, as well as giving them that support and love that they truly just desire. So just know your sweet little kids, or even young teens and young adults, can get through this. And they can learn valuable lessons and skills to manage the situation. And don't underestimate their ability to adjust and be able to shift into this next chapter of your life and theirs. That's our second myth that we're going to bust right out of there. The third myth that we're going to look at is time heals all wounds. In the beginning, that sounds amazing. Time's going to heal all my wounds, and I'm going to be amazing after just some time. But in actuality, it's not the time that heals all the wounds. It's the work that we do with that time. So if you'll take this and look at it as the time that we take to learn about ourselves and learn new skills to cope and manage, and what we can do with that time, that's the part of it that's going to heal the wounds. Have you ever known somebody who's been through divorce and a year later they're excited and joyful and have stepped into the next chapter with confidence and courage and just kind of seem like they figured it all out? And then you have another precious person who's 4 years out of the divorce and they're still struggling. They're still feeling that regret. They're still feeling the anger and resentment and hurt, even though that much time has passed. So if it was true that time heals all wounds, then both people should be or could be in the same space. That's why it's so important to take that time that you get and use it to your advantage. Take the time for yourself. Learn the skills. Find the coping strategies that work for you and start healing those wounds so that you can find that confidence, that joy, that excitement for this next chapter, because you deserve to have that amazing feeling of accomplishing what you want, finding your joy and peace, and knowing that you truly can have the next chapter that's amazing. So let's go on to the next myth and let's get it busted right out of there. The next myth is you'll be devastated forever. Just like we talked about the healing wounds, is it really true that you'll be devastated forever? If you look at what we talked about earlier, how one person can experience the divorce in one way and manage to work through it and move on, and you have another person who struggles and has all these overwhelming feelings. When you look at the feelings of devastation, if you get the skills and you get the strategies to help yourself manage this difficult time, the devastation doesn't have to be there forever, as well as the growth and the opportunity for you to discover a strength in yourself that you may not have realized was even there. Many other times in our lives, we find ourselves feeling devastated, whether that's a loss of a loved one or change in your situation, and you feel that sense of devastation. But when you take the time to release the emotions and manage the new ways that you're feeling, you can get through those things. And this is no different. You're going to be able to get through this time of devastation and come out the other side a more powerful, courageous, and strong person. Right now, it may not feel like that, but you really can. It really will happen for you. The next myth that we're going to try to bust out, number 5, is dating immediately after a divorce helps us heal faster. So let's look at that a little closer. At first, that might sound amazing. I'll just get right back out there and start dating again and build my confidence and all these amazing things that we think will come from dating right after a divorce. I'm going to heal faster because the initial thought is, I get out there, I'm going to distract myself from all these emotions and all this hurt, and I'm going to have these new amazing partners to experience. That if we take that thought process and we really look at that, is that really going to help you take the time to connect with yourself? Is that going to give you that time to process the emotions that you're having? Going to give you the time to rediscover what you truly want and what worked and what didn't work in that first relationship. So if we jump right out there and we're starting to date again right after the divorce is done, we haven't had a chance to uncover any of our old patterns. So we're going to find ourselves right back in a new relationship that's going to have the same structure that we had in the old one. That can be fine if we've started doing some of the work before we left the relationship. But if we didn't do any work and we just jump right into dating again, you're going to find yourself repeating old patterns that you don't even know are there, because we're basically just touching the surface of what's going on underneath. And we're not taking the time to really get to know who we are as a human and what we want and desire in a new, healthy relationship. So I hope that you'll think about it and really decide what you want in this next chapter. Do you want a healthy relationship where you can set healthy boundaries and you can have that mutual respect and love coming back and forth between yourself and the other person? So let's look at the next harmful myth that can sabotage your future. Number 6 is ignoring the emotions will speed up the healing. So if you think about it, that sounds amazing. We can just roll right over those hurtful, harmful emotions and not have to look at those. But let me explain how these emotions work. I can use it in this short little analogy. Emotions need to be expressed. Let's imagine that you're a mom of a little toddler and the little toddler is bidding for your attention, and you're distracted trying to do the dishes, or you're cooking a meal. But the little one, they want your attention. So they're, mommy, mommy, mommy. And you're doing the dishes or you're cooking a meal and you're just trying to do your thing. Then the little toddler starts pulling on your shirt. Mommy, mommy, mommy. And you're still distracted and you're just zoned out and you're trying to manage all the stuff. And then eventually the little toddler just throws herself on the floor and throws this big old fit. That's how our emotions work. If we don't acknowledge them and give them the attention that they need, they're going to start out with just a little bit. Hey, pay attention to me. I'm having issues here. I'm struggling. I need you to hear me. And then if we don't acknowledge it and we don't give it the time it needs, it's going to start yanking at our sleeves. It's going to start showing up when it's least expected, or it's going to just give us a hard time. And eventually, if we don't pay attention at all and we just kind of shut it down and don't pay attention to it, it can actually physically cause us illness in our body. But it's so important to give yourself the time to express those emotions in healthy ways so that you can let that little toddler feel seen and heard and understood those emotions. That way, you can manage those and help them be processed so much quicker. Acknowledge them right off the bat. I'm having a really rough day. Express those emotions. Use your journal and let those things out so that they don't show up as a tantrum on the floor, kicking and screaming in another part of your life. That's what we have with that one. Let's look at our seventh myth. I'll be alone forever. This last one, at first sight, it can actually feel like that. You can actually feel like you're going to be alone forever. After a divorce, it's a challenge. But if we really look at that, this can be your opportunity to reconnect with not only yourself, but other people. You can reconnect with your kids because your focus is not going to all these other things that you were struggling with. Your focus can go to what it is you want in this next chapter. You can reconnect with old friends that you may not have spent time with because you were trying to manage other challenging situations in your marriage or in just life in general. You can have opportunities to meet new people, even have like a therapist that you can spend time with and discuss some of the challenges you're dealing with, or get with a coach that can walk you through the process of the skills and strategies to manage this time and uncover things that are sabotaging your life and help you to get through this challenging time. Connecting with yourself on a deeper level that you may not even have realized was possible. That is a beautiful and amazing opportunity. But in the beginning, it doesn't feel like that. You feel like you're alone. You feel like nobody understands what you're going through. But just know you're not alone. Everyone that's been through this challenge knows that if we take the time to reconnect with ourselves, allow ourselves to be seen, and connect with others, you can get through this and you can come out on the other side feeling more strong, courageous, and connected than ever before. But you have to allow yourself to come away from the isolation, get connected, and find the support that you need. So I hope this has been helpful to you this week, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and share them in the comments. I want to thank you so much for taking your precious time and listening to this and being here with me today. And I hope it's been helpful. Remember, you're more powerful than you know. I'm sending you so much love. Debbie Forth Wiggly. Bye.